Alright, so the first thing we're going to start with is we'll need to mark the position of the wipers. So I just did that with some tape. And the next thing we're going to do is take these caps off, and then using a 15mm socket, I'm going to unscrew the wipers. So once you unscrew the wipers, you try and just wiggle them off. Sometimes they can be quite stuck, and you might have to take your time just pulling them up and down. In this case, I decided to start with the other one and then wiggle the left side wiper out. It also helps if you have a wiper puller that can just make your work a little bit easier. Alright, so once you take your wiper blades off, the next thing you're going to do is take out your air filter holder, cabin air filter holder that is, and then you're going to remove the panel that's between the windshield and your air filter housing. And just pull your cabin air filter out. Once you've done that, there you'll see 4 bolts just under the air filter housing, and you're gonna unscrew the 4. Okay, you'll need a T30 Torx socket to do so. Once you remove the 4, your cabin air filter housing box will loosen and you can take that out. Once you do that, there will be another black plastic behind that. There's 2 bolts, one on the left side and one on the right side. And you're going to use your T30 again and just unscrew the 2 of them on each side. And once you unscrew the 2 bolts, you'll be able to pull the piece out, and that will get you closer to your blower housing. You might have to wiggle it a little bit to release it from its mounting spot. And once you take that panel out, you will be at your blower housing. You should see something like this. It's going to have 2 clips at the bottom. So what we're going to do next is we're going to remove these 2 clips. You can use a flathead screwdriver and just pry, and they should come out pretty easily. Once you do that, there'll be a screw at the top of the housing. You're gonna just unscrew that, and once that screw is out, you'll be ready to remove your cover, and that will finally give you access to the blower. Again, you'll have to wiggle the black plastic out, um, but it should come out pretty easily. When you finally get your cover off, you are going to notice that there is a clip holding the front of the blower. You will have to remove that piece off as well. The easiest way to do this is if you have a screwdriver or a pointy tool, there is a hole at the bottom of the clip, and just put your tool in that hole and pull upwards, and it will come off fairly easily. You will not have to struggle too much if you use this method. The clip will also come out, so just make sure you don't lose it. Make sure you don't drop it into your engine bay, because in most cases you will need it for your reinstallation. Once the clip is out, the next thing you will want to do is remove your electrical connector. Now this can be the most difficult part of your uninstall and also your reinstall, but in my case I used long-nosed pliers, which is curved at the end, and that made it quite easy to remove. And that's your blower motor. So I got my motor from partsavatar.ca. It came nicely packaged in this box, and it even had this extra white box. So yeah, it came packaged pretty nicely. There is one small difference with the new motor that I got, and it's got this this little bracket at the back, and I will show you how this bracket changes the installation process by a little bit. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the condition of the part. It came just as expected. Now we're back in our engine bay, and the new motor comes with this holder, which I will have to remove because the new part will not require this bracket to be there. So I will have to take the 4 screws out in order to allow the new motor to sit in correctly. One good thing about this new part with the way it's set up is that it does make your installation a little bit easier. Also, potentially you also have a quieter blower because there's less parts to vibrate and rattle around. So I'm just going to take out the 4 screws, and then I'm going to show you how this new blower motor is going to sit in the cradle. So once you remove the 4 bolts, you should be able to take off the little holder. And once you do that, this is the way the new motor is going to sit. Right. So just remember, if your new blower motor looks exactly like your original one, you will have to have your clip go back into the same spot that the old one was, but in my case I will not need it anymore. But before we can tie anything up, we're gonna put in our electrical connector. You will notice that it has kind of a squarish side on the right side, so as you put it in, just make sure that you have the squarish side pointing right. That will help you make the installation a lot easier. You might just have to take your time. It can be quite tricky to put this connector in. So just spend your time to wiggle it in and make sure that it's secured properly before you continue with your installation. Should be able to wiggle it and have it remain tight if you've put it in correctly. And then once that's in, we will have to just secure the 4 screws that we have. So yeah, just secure the 4 screws. Just be careful not to drop them in, otherwise you will have to take everything out. So just take your time as you put in your screws, and once you do that, we'll be ready to test the blower and just make sure that it's working properly. And just make sure to secure it. It should be tight, but not too tight, because you do not want it to be moving around. Alright, and once we've done that, we just want to test the blower, make sure it's running before we close everything up. So I'm just going to put my ignition switch on, and we have success. It appears to be running properly. As you test your new blower motor, just make sure it's not scraping against anything. Make sure it's not making any strange noises. If it is, just make sure you adjust the placement of the motor so that you don't have your new blower making strange noises once you tie everything up. And once we're done with that, we are ready to complete the rest of our installation. You're going to put everything back in the same order that you took it off. So we're going to just place our panels back exactly the way they came off. I'm going to clip the bottom and then put in our screw at the top. And place your panels back just the way you took them off. Reinstall your bolts on the ends. Reinstall your cabin air filter housing with the 4 bolts that go inside it. put your cabin air filter back. A good time to replace it if it's still a little dirty, and then just put back your cover that goes by the wipers, and then finally reinstall your wiper blades. Place your caps back once you've tightened your nuts. And we're all done. Time to test the new blower motor. And success! This new motor is actually a lot quieter than the one I had before, so pretty happy about it. Thanks everyone.